Oh, you're fast. That was, you just did that?
It's the turbo thing.
Oh my gosh.
You bought me that. Thank you very much. Back 9 years ago.
Best
10 years.
investment ever. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, Bonnie McGregor. Good morning, Ron Rubel. Good morning. I can't hear you, Bonnie, but I wanted to ask you that during kind of update portion of the event, that
Yeah.
you give a very brief update about the
Jam
jam
session.
sessions, please.
The
I don't
upcoming
know why I
one.
can't hear you, Bonnie. Let me see. What have I done? There we go. It's me.
Oh,
Good thing we're
okay.
testing this.
Yeah, you're good. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. Thank you very
Oh.
much.
Thank you. Good morning.
So this morning, if you would be willing during, I think, I don't know if it'll be during public comment. I am looking at the agenda. When would be a good time? Public comment. Let's take that moment and share about the
Okay.
jam session.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ron, during public comment, Scott from Marion Polk Food Share needs to give an update of their program.
I'm in the middle of trying to print out this stuff here. Just a second. Okay.
I need to go clean my glasses.
Okie dokie. Okay, so during public comment, I have Scott from Marion Polk Food Share that can't stay the entire meeting because he has a conflict, but he does need to give us a report of what's happening with the meal program.
Great. Okay.
And let's see. Let me see if I can find my glasses.
How's the baby?
Oh, she's so amazing. I love being a grandma.
I can, yeah.
Okay, closing my door, everyone.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ron.
Let's see. Do I have everything on? Yes, mute off and video is okay.
Yeah, you sound good, Ron, and your lighting's good today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
Good morning, Linda.
Okay. And good morning, Bonnie.
Hi, Ron.
And Elise, hello.
Hello. Here we go.
Good morning, David.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
Good to hear you.
Where
Elise, did you
I
want,
don't.
under
don't-
public comment, did you want to make any kind of announcements of any kind?
I could just comment on the community forum if that's okay.
I would love it. And I apologize for not being present at that forum.
You're okay.
No, I should have been there and I apologize. I don't know how I got double booked, but I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm interested in hearing what you learned though. Thank you. Good morning, Scott. I have you at the top of public comment today because I know we're working with a tight schedule for you.
I don't
Good
see.
morning, Julie Litke. Nice to see you here today. Thank you.
Morning.
Okay. Good morning, Scott.
Do you have a video for Scott? I don't see a pop up.
Let's see.
Oh,
There he is. It did
okay.
come through. And good morning, John.
Yep. Okay.
Can you all see me? I'm having a little
Yeah.
computer issues on my end.
Let me see, Scott. I'm not sure yet. No, I do not see video, but I do hear you loud and clear.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
Let me see if I say ask to start video, if it changes for you. Good
Actually,
morning, Annie.
Hi, good morning.
Great to
Ah.
see you. Thanks for
Great.
being here on your, I know how much you love 9 a.m. meetings.
Well, I did it.
Good. for
It's
you.
better than my 8 a.m. go to Habitat for Humanity build. So, I try and look at the positive side.
I know I used to have a job where I went to work at noon. I worked 12 to 8 and everyone's like, oh, that's the worst. And I was like, I love it. Because
Yeah.
I just get raring up, and my face always looks way better about 6 p.m. at night. My mom used to say, oh, I don't put my face on for a few hours because it needs time to wake up. And I get it now.
I think one of the-
Part-time, I went in at 10. I worked 10 to 2:30 or 3 or whatever. So it worked for me. It was great.
Well, when I'm old enough to retire, I'm going to be seeking a job 10 to 2, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
There you go.
So
I bet
Perfect.
they'd hire you at the senior center at the
Yeah.
Center 50.
I was just thinking Meals on Wheels could use another driver, but
Marilyn, don't make the mistake of getting used to wearing a robe in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Just don't. It's hard. It's
It's
really
hard to break that habit.
Oh my God, yes. So this is
Oh, and
advice.
now you have a granddaughter, so you'll be plenty busy
Oh,
with
yeah.
plenty of joy and smiles and all of that.
Yes, but she likes when I'm in a bathrobe.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah. You're
Okay.
gonna have troubles.
All right, how are we doing on quorum, Suzanne?
We've got everybody, I think, except
I'm counting. here.
Margaret. So to confirm that, well, why don't we start? Okay. So welcome all to the Tuesday, February 7th meeting 2023. I'm forgetting that of the Salem Center Advisory Commission. We'll begin with a roll call if Suzanne
I'm
is.
here.
Yeah, there you are. Okay.
Yes, indeed. So Alan Scott is excused. Elise Lipnick,
Here.
Annie Batey,
Here,
Bonnie McGregor,
Hello. Yes.
David Haber,
Here.
John Hughes,
Here.
Julie Ledke,
Here.
Linda Schellenberg. Not yet. Margaret Manukian.
Linda is here.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here too.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank
there
you.
you are, Margaret. Okay.
Excellent. And Ron Rubel
Yep.
and Scott Harper.
Yeah.
So
and what about
everyone-
Elise? I think you didn't call her name.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I do have it. I have her checked on. She's here.
Okay,
Hi, Elise. Sorry.
Well, it looks like we have 100% attendance today. That's great.
mine, yep, minus Alan Scott.
Oh,
All right. Do we need introductions? I think we're all familiar with ourselves at this point, unless somebody would like further clarification. I'll just move on from that. Okay, are there any announcements to be made?
So I'm just roll call, introductions and announcements. That's correct.
Right.
Okay. This
okay.
would be an okay time. We have several people that are going to be giving us some updates today. So would you like it during this time, Ron, or would you like us to wait during public comment?
No, why don't we go ahead with the announcements? Yes.
Okay. I have down Scott Harper from Marion Polk Food Share Meals on Wheels as our first today with announcements.
Thank you, Marilyn. First, I just want to really apologize to everybody. I know since I joined the committee, unfortunately, I've had to miss several of the meetings and stuff. It conflicts with another meeting with the food share. So I'm doing my best to be able to come more often. And I've also got a new volunteer manager that I'm going to start sending over when I can't be here and stuff, so we can have more of a presence and make sure that, you know, we're getting all the information and stuff. So I apologize for that. And I am actually going to have to leave a little bit right after this announcement because I have to get to another meeting. But I'm glad to come on and announce that on February 27th, we are opening up the Congruent Dining 5 days a week. We're really super excited about that. At the same time, we have just a little bit of some nerves going on and stuff to see how that's all going to work out. Meals on Wheels is still just growing leaps and bounds. And with some conversations with Northwest Senior Disability Services, some of the actions that were taken in a COVID response, we're going to start to try to pull back a little bit. And that means like some of our home delivered clients don't technically meet the eligibility for home delivered meals, but we were doing that because of COVID response. So now we're going to do what we can to pull that back a little bit and see if we can get more participation in the dining room. With that said, and the growth that we're looking at, we can comfortably sit about 80 people in a round, and we're sitting about those numbers right now. So I'm really curious about how we're gonna be able to service everybody that comes in. But we've got a good team working on it, and I think it'll be pretty successful. We're really excited about getting people back in and getting that continuity and people just, you know, being able to dine together and stuff again. So,
Scott, you mentioned that was the Concord dining room. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's the terms we always use as congregate dining. It's really just opening up the dining room for our lunch patrons and stuff. They come in and we'll supply a hot meal for them for lunch
Okay, and that's located.
at the Center 50 in their dining room. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Scott,
Scott, when
I'm
you
just
say that,
wondering hours.
go ahead.
I'm just wondering the hours.
We're going to open at, we're saying 11:30 to 12:30, with the anticipation that we'll probably actually be closer to 1 or 11:30 to 1, maybe a little bit after, depending on how many people come in, if we have to do a rotation on the seats and stuff. So we're trying to get people in there as early as possible, with the understanding that we might have to extend our hours a little bit, so we can make sure that we service everybody that comes in.
Good news, really good news. Thank you.
I know it's been a long,
Yeah.
drawn out process on this. I just wanted to be as thoughtful as I could as we went into it. There's going to be some changes. I'm not sure who all was here when we were open pre-COVID. But some of the changes we're looking at is we got a new card swipe system. Before, I guess the patrons were coming up and grabbing tickets from the office. And now we're going to assign every client a card with their name on it. And there'll be a little swipe kiosk when they come in, so they can just swipe it and get right through the line. We're starting off again kind of slow on things, where before there was a large option of alternative meals that people would be able to have. At the beginning, when we first start, we're going to offer our daily meals that are on our menu. And if they don't particularly want those, we'll have a soup, salad, and bread option. And then as things kind of move along, we'll look into maybe adding some one-off items, or possible, sandwiches or something like that.
Annie, did you have your question answered?
No, not yet. So Scott, you had said that you'll start with 80, but you're already serving 80. That was confusing to me.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. We have tables and chairs enough to sit 80 in the dining room. And we're already serving roughly, it varies a little bit, but roughly about 80 patrons come through and grab to-go meals and stuff. So
to-go meals. Okay,
yeah,
I get it now.
The people that were getting those to-go meals that were lining up out front of the Center 50 are now going to come into the Center 50 and actually sit down and dine with each other.
Okay.
That's why we're thinking we'll probably have to do like a quick turnover for people, so they can come in and spend a half hour, 45 minutes eating, and then maybe do a second group that will come through.
Great.
Scott, can you please explain how the OAA funds work and how people register for those, and how you will prioritize, how you are going to prioritize those that are on the OAA funds?
Sure. So OAA funds, Older American Act, are federal funds that are come to us through Northwest Senior Disability Services. We have a contract with them stating that we'll serve X amount of meals in a year, and they'll supply us X amount of dollars to make sure that happens. That funding does not 100% cover by any means. Our donations and Marion Polk Food Share really come up with the remainder on it. So Older American Act, specifically for congregate dining, is basically if they're over 60, you qualify for a free meal. We do have some forms that we need to have them fill out and stuff. It's pretty inintrusive. And then we just put them on the system and make sure that they get a meal. Prioritizing is one of the issues we are kind of looking at. I need to make sure that all OAA clients that come through do receive a meal. So that's one of the things we're working on. How much food do we have prepared ahead of time? As we go along, we'll probably get a better sense of our participation, but we also are going to be offering private pay for a lot of times. People will come in and have a friend or something with them that would love to sit and eat with them, so we want to make sure that we're able to support that also. And we're going to utilize, we're still working on a little bit, but we're going to utilize the same cards where people would be able to put a certain amount of money on it. We're thinking about either a certain amount of money or actually a number of meals. And they'd be able to use the same card system to go into the dining room, just swipe it down, and it would take a meal out, and they'd be good to go.
Have you settled on a pricing for the private pays?
Yes, sorry about that. We did. We were at $6 last year. With the cost of food and everything going up, we did have to bump it up to $7. And we're going to be doing the same thing with our home delivered meals. You know, when I talk about these little changes and these upgrades and meals and all this kind of stuff, and sending people that were getting home delivered meals back over to the congregate dining, we're wanting to be very thoughtful and make sure that if people have extending circumstances, that we still provide those meals for them, even if they maybe fall slightly out of the scope of what is considered eligible. And we do that because I don't believe that the eligibility guidelines really take into account everybody's kind of circumstances. So we're have the ability to be able to say, you know what, they don't actually kind of qualify for this, but we can use our own in-house financing to back this up, and we have complete say on who gets that. We just don't want to, with everything else that's going on in the world, the cost of living going up so much, the cost of food going up so much, we don't want to be the organization that adds extra pressure when it's the organization they're trying to reach out to relieve some of that pressure.
Scott, you may have already answered this, but I was curious, will these, when you open up your congregate meal, will it be a plated meal then, like a hot plated meal, or will it be the trays that you're distributing?
It's going to be hot plated meals. The only difference for before pre-COVID, we had I guess like waiters that were going around and actually bringing the hot plated meals to the consumer that were sitting down. We're going to run it kind of a hybrid, a little bit more cafeteria style, where they'll come through, swipe their card, walk through the little cafeteria line and grab their food, and then go ahead and seat themselves someplace. But with that in mind, also, we are going to, there's going to be some clients that just can't, do that. They're going to need to come in and sit down, and we'll bring them their food to them.
So actually, that's how it was operated.
Oh, it was.
People went through the line and selected what they wanted, unless they were unable to carry their own plates. But they were provided coffee and water and milk service to their tables.
Yeah, we talked about that. We're going to probably just do pitchers on the tables and allow people to pick whatever kind of drinks they want. But I'm glad you brought that up, because I was under the misunderstanding that it was all complete plate service before.
No, they would call up tables and they would line up and go through the line.
Oh, okay.
And then, and I'm glad to hear the swiping, because using a single cash register, people would be lined up while they were trying to ring people up, and it could be time consuming, but that gave them, when they go through the line, they had a choice that helped with placing their order.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a salad, or I'm going to, so I think it's excellent. I love all that's happening. I think we're going to have to really think through how our cafe works alongside that, especially for those that are age 50 to 60 that may not qualify for the parameters of the fruit, the lunch at no charge, but we still want to be, we can't be selling $1.50 sandwich if you're selling a sandwich bar at $7. We need to talk through how we best complement one another and how we can fill those unmet needs. So I just wanted to say to the commission that, Scott and I are really making an effort to meet and have these, conversations on how we can work together. So moving forward, I anticipate us, meeting on a monthly basis. Yay, we're excited. Thanks, Scott.
Yep. Same here. Thanks for your time.
Hey, thank you, Scott. Are there any other announcements?
I have Elise Lipnick. She's going to do an update on a recent forum that they held.
Yes, thank you. So the Alzheimer's Association, we had a community forum for Salem, Greater Salem, on February 2nd. And admittedly, I have not seen the surveys yet, and I haven't been able to get my data to draft the report. So what I'm reporting on is just what I noticed and what I saw and the numbers and such things. We had about 14 in attendance, which for our community forums is actually a fair amount of people. It's kind of hard to get people out for those. So I'm really excited that we had as many as we did. We had 2 wonderful community partners in the Center 50 Plus, which it's okay, Marilyn, I talked you guys up. So, and also NWSDS, of which Susie Deeds was supposed to speak, but then she got kind of sick and her voice sounded awful. So Julie Mendez came in and spoke for her. And, you know, we do a lot of work with both partners. And so I really appreciate both of them. What I noticed was a mix of people with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia, caregivers, and professionals. So I thought that was really great to see some professionals in the audience to kind of, you know, bounce their ideas off of. And what we were able to do was create a quick PowerPoint where we just spoke about our services and what it is we do. And I think that's something that's important because I think a lot of people maybe know we're here or maybe don't know we're here, but they don't really know exactly what it is we do. And I know I've even run into that at the front desk sometimes where those wonderful volunteers are saying, now, what do you do up there? You know? So I think it's important to get those words out. We had a couple heartfelt shared stories. The one gal we had with Alzheimer's disease spoke, and she was very eloquent and she had a very sweet story. Some of the professionals kind of dug into our services a little more and how we could help them. And the general community was there. And it seemed like they learned a lot from what we were saying. So that's kind of that in a nutshell. And I really enjoyed doing it and hope we can do it again next year.
And then you have some survey results you might be able to share with us at a later time?
Yeah.
That'd be excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Any questions of Elise?
Elise, I thought it was worth mentioning. Elise had said, you know, we were excited to have 14 people there because a lot of times they'll have 5 or less come to these things. So I thought it was really neat that you guys saw double those numbers and kind of inquired, like, what do you think the success of that was? And she said, you know, just promoting the heck out of it. And then also, I think people being around, being able to see the flyers and stuff. I thought that was a great turnout. It's not always easy to put these things together and then just get 2 people or 3 people to come. So that's awesome that it was well attended.
Oh, thank you, Kanoe. And it also, I will say my goal was to get more people than the Portland Community Forum did, and we did. So go Salem.
Okay, thank you, Elise. Any other announcements to be made?
I believe Bonnie McGregor has an update.
Hi, everybody. Put together a music jam on the 18th of 21st of January, and it's going to be every 3rd and the 1st. Thank you, Marilyn. But it'll be the 1st and the 3rd Saturday mornings. But last attendance, we had 20. And that's when I was thinking maybe we'd have 5. And word got out. And I'm not sure how many we're going to end up with. I know we have at least 6 more I know of. And it's a lot of the old time fiddlers that are dying to have a place to play. And I was able to talk to a gentleman that kind of heads up the fiddlers. And I kind of hit him on the fact that we help, the 50 plus helps end the isolation and loneliness. And he loved it because he goes, you don't know how many people really want to play, but they don't know where to go. So this may get really big, and I'm excited. So we'll see how it goes. And what was really neat is there was a gentleman that was coming out of the woodworking shop, and he was just thrilled that there was something to do, to listen to the music. And so many people, we had like a half a dozen people there just enjoying. And it was good music. It was really, I was thrilled. So the first and third Saturdays, and that's good. I was really happy. So thank you, Marilyn, for letting this all happen. You've got a whole bunch of new fans, and I am going to, for the next session on the 18th, I'm going to try and do a cup of Joe, telling them about that. We'll see how it goes.
It is,
So-
it is 10:30 to 12:30.
Yes, and I had to correct an email that went out because they said 10:30 to 1. And I said, no, we have to be out of the building by 1. So it's 10:30 to 12:30. So I think it'll work great. It'll work great. So any questions?
Bonnie, can people who don't play an instrument come and stomp their feet and clap their hands?
Oh my gosh. Yes. That would be so fun. We need the percussionists. I don't have a gentleman to play the drums, but I do have a gal that does percussion. So she's got all kinds of instruments from all over the world.
Oh, that's
And
great.
that was it. It was the best time. I love music, and it couldn't have been better. So yeah, anybody can come. We're going to have coffee, maybe some treats available. I'm going to put the donation jar out to help fray the costs, and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to pump up my pay it forward random acts of kindness as well. Maybe we'll get a little bit of help with that. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated. Okay. Anything else? Oh, okay.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Any other announcements to be made at this point? Okay. Oh, has everybody received a copy of the agenda? Okay, are there any requests for additions or any other items to be included in an updated agenda?
If it's not in Marilyn's report, I just wanted to check in about how we get tickets if we're able to go Thursday night.
Thank you for asking. I have the tickets. I do have the list of people that have let me know what, let me pause for a second because I wasn't thinking of this, but what Annie is speaking of is the Community Health Impact Series at Willamette University, funded by Salem Health Foundation. This is the book Childhood, Adulthood, and Elderhood by Dr. Louise Aronson. Did I say that right? Okay. And excellent. I saw her a few years ago at the AARP Age Friendly Communities Conference, and she was excellent. It is worth the time. I was given 15 tickets to distribute as we choose, and I think I have a couple left. And the best way for us to connect to those tickets is, I kind of don't know how to do that since we're all spread out. And I couldn't figure out how to email it, but I'm working on it. So if you are one that wants to go, it's Thursday night at 7 p.m. at Willamette University in Hudson Hall. And I do have your tickets. You know, maybe we just make a pledge to meet outside the auditorium, and I'll stand there and have your tickets. Maybe that's the easiest way to do it. You know what? Let's just do that. That way I see you, and we can even maybe sit together or near each other. That'd be something. So if you are wanting to go, You can't add to the chat here. That chat has been turned off. So email me. If you have not emailed me already, email me. Right now, I have Margaret. I have Annie. Do I have anyone else?
I got a ticket through the event something or other process
Great.
for that.
Okay, good. I know they are, I think they are almost sold out now. Not sold out, but get passed out. So anybody else of this group that would like to meet me outside to collect the ticket?
I would like to go.
Okay, Bonnie, I
Thank
think you
you.
did tell me that. I know that, Margaret. And Annie, just one ticket? Is everybody just wanting one?
Yes.
Marilyn,
Uh-huh.
it works perfect for me to meet you outside because if anything changes with the family birthday and they decide to do something, then you got the ticket and you can give it to somebody else if I am not able to make it. I'll make sure and be there by, 10 minutes to, if I'm able to come. Right
Okay.
now I am, but
Okay.
it's very fluid.
So I'm gonna say if it's possible, if everybody could meet me there at about 20 till.
Okay, that's good.
That way, we can make sure that we get seats. Cause I don't think they're assigned, it's open seating.
Yeah.
So if we could do 20 till, that gives me time to still find a seat.
Perfect.
Anyone else on the call that hasn't let me know, please email me. And if you decide you want to bring a friend, let me know that too, because I probably can accommodate. All right, thank you.
Okay. I need a motion to accept the agenda as published, please.
I'll make that motion, Annie.
Thank you. And a second
Second.
from Elise.
Elise, yes, sorry.
All in favor, raise your hand, please. Any opposed or abstaining? Then we accept the agenda as published into the record.
Ron, let me just follow up with one thing. If there's a recording of that lecture, Marilyn, will you let everybody know?
Oh,
Yes, I will let everybody know.
okay.
Perfect, because I think it's going to be excellent. Well, I know it will be.
Okay. Did everybody receive a copy of the minutes for the last meeting? No. Marilyn, I guess Suzanne, can you send one to Linda, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. Any additions or corrections to the minutes for the last meeting?
So we are sending the packets out. I think I received mine last Thursday. If when you get your packet, you could do a confirmation of receipt, because we use the same link or the same group each time, and we're trying to figure out why sometimes it goes to your junk mail, etc., but we don't know if it goes to the junk mail without a receipt. So we try to send it out Wednesday, Thursday, the week before, the full packet, minutes, agenda, and all of that. And you responding back with received and will be present would be a huge help to us.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I apparently am one of those where it went to junk mail. I did not check that. Okay.
Mine was in spam as well, and I keep saying you're not spam, but now I know to look there.
Mhm. Yeah, it's funny because the Zoom went through. Ron received my Zoom. That's how he knew he didn't get the packet.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So it's like, I'm trying to figure out why the Zoom comes through. It's, you know what? Technology is an ongoing lesson. So we'll just keep working on it together.
Sometimes I think it's a word in the email that triggers an algorithm or whatever they call it to say, "Oop, this could be spam." So I don't know.
It could be. Could be.
I sent that to Linda. Hopefully
Thank
it shows
you.
up for
Okay. Anybody? I don't see anybody here with public comment. Okay, no public comment. We'll move on then. Action and discussion items. And I guess Marilyn, draft of C50 and AC annual report.
Yes, I'm actually gonna see, is Kanoy on the?
Yes,
I'm
You're
gonna
good.
I'm gonna turn it over to Kanoy for a moment because we have a little an activity. Do you have time, Kanoy?
I do. I do.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, thanks, Marilyn. Kind of how this came about is Marilyn and I were talking in her office the other day, you know, what the theme was for the annual report, looking at Cup of Joe, kind of where we're at, and it all came back to being the center of it all. And what that means, you know, we provide a building, we provide a place for all of these things to happen. And how does that happen? When you think about your own reasons for coming, and you don't have to answer it out loud, but just be mindful of it. What activity was it that brought you here originally? What brought you in? Just take a second and think, was it a friend that brought you in here? Was it a class? Was it the fact that you had just retired and you wanted to just know what was going on? Maybe it wasn't just one activity. If anyone wants to share, go ahead. You don't have to. Because my next question goes into how many activities do you do now? I have so many folks. I have one gal that I'm thinking of in particular that came here just to take yoga. Well, I just came to take yoga. I'm finally retired and I'm just going to come in. I'm going to do my yoga classes. And she comes in and does yoga. That's how it started. Then she saw that we have Zumba classes. And she was like, oh my goodness, I've wanted to take Zumba forever. So she takes yoga. She does Zumba. She volunteers now. All of these different things stemmed from one encounter with the center. And I thought that was really neat because oftentimes we come in just with the idea of, well, I know they have history class here, so I'm going to take that. And then it expounds to so many other opportunities. And that's what we want. We want people to come to the center of it all, to be able to take all of these different programs. But really, the biggest takeaway, my last question for you is, how many people have you brought to the center? Now that you have found all these activities that you do, programs that you participate with, are you bringing other people to the center as well? And again, you don't have to answer that, but just kind of being mindful of how we get here, what we do once we're here, and who are we telling about it? Because like I said, we're providing this space, but it's everyone around it contributing to the center of it all. And it made me think of what I do here. Yeah, I work here, but I also participate in some of the events that we have, making sure to tell family and friends about these things. Having family members come and enjoy some of the excursions, take fitness classes. It's fun to see it grow. And when I see folks who are participating in multiple programs and they're bringing their friends in, and then their friends are bringing friends in, and it's really cool to see how one building can truly be the center of everything. And if we just think what brought you in the door the first time, it inspires us to think of more programming and more reasons for you to bring people back.
I'll share that my students brought me into the Center 50 Plus. So I regularly have students who do practicums at Center 50 Plus pre-COVID, and now we've got them back in there. Actually had a few through COVID. They brought me in there. And through their eyes, I was able to see kind of the things that are going on. I still work full time, so I'm only able to really come in on Saturdays predominantly. But I've been occasionally bringing a friend on Saturdays when I come, and gave one a tour because I felt like it was a place that she could really engage in and enjoy. So that's my goal, is probably on Saturdays I'll wander through with somebody.
Margaret, thank you. I love that goal. Bonnie.
I came the first time in honoring a good friend, Mary McGregor, who loved Eucanoy and loved Maryland. And so I started in the boutique, which got me in, then the COVID, and then Marilyn reached out to get the cafe going, and it just snowballed. It just snowballed. So I guess I'm a success, real, so just by one person that was really influenced by the staff, I had to come see. So yeah, it's a good place. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Bonnie. Linda?
I came in for an acrylics class, and I guess the staff read my application. And before you know it, I was volunteering in Friends. And then I was working in respite. And so it starts. Yeah. So I've been there for, I think, 7 years now. So, yeah, I really enjoy it. And I kind of bring people in when I can. So, yeah.
That's awesome. We have seen you in a lot of different hats here, Linda.
Yeah.
Annie?
I came to a January forum on a Saturday and was talking to Marilyn, who was at that point, we were co-workers too through the city, and just about, well, I don't know, I was trying to figure out what would fit since I was still working, and just needed to find the right fit. And so she suggested I just blanked, but there was a book club with who was our instructor for our exercise class.
That was Lucia.
Lucia was teaching a book club that was about, retiring but being healthy, and that one, the name of that book just jumped out of my head too. But and from there she talked about starting the exercise class. So then I went to that, and I would tell people, about it. I don't know how many people have come to the center as a result, but when Lucia left, 3 of us, with Kanoy's gracious providing us the opportunity to use the back room when nobody else was using it, we got to continue our class, just the 3 of us. And then with COVID, we had to stop, and then they've been busy in other things. And I have a member of the family that's immune compromised, so I have to be very thoughtful about what I'm doing. But someday it's gonna be safe again for me, and then I'm going to come to the Monday night Flex and Fab.
Awesome. We will save you a spot.
Yeah, it could be a year or more. Who knows? They just got to get it under control. And then this person will be able to tell me, yep, I think it's safe now for you to do that and still get to see me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being with us, Annie, and thanks for your input. Thanks for everyone who shared. It's really helpful as we're kind of forming these conversations in Marilyn's report, to hear from our very own board, who are our biggest advocates, who are out there bringing people to these events and telling folks about the amazing programs that we have. So we appreciate you, and I appreciate you being mindful of getting others in here and participating in the things that we offer.
Thank you, Kanoy. So what is this conversation about? Well, the truth of the matter is I'm trying to show you my screen, and I'm not sure why it won't let me share my screen. let me share screen. There we go. Annual report. So we are working on our annual report, and we try to kind of work. There's a lot of stats, honestly, and how do we capture stats in a way that others want to read them? It's our stats on paper. That's just what they are. We serve a certain number of people. We have a certain number of volunteers. They contribute a certain number of hours. We've done this many classes. We've done this many programs. But the essence of where our real success comes from is what we just talked about. It is where we come in for one reason, and then we, through a relationship, connect to each other, and then we explore other stages of our life together. And we explore other interests together. I was thinking of another couple. They came in years ago as travelers in our travel program. One received a diagnosis of Alzheimer's. So they started to reach out to different programs, activities that they could do together in this safe environment. The Alzheimer progressed. So the one spouse was able to go into respite while the other received support from other caregivers. And here we are marching through this life cycle. They came in for one reason, and through relationships, Center 50 Plus has been able to continue to support that couple. And when those really hard decisions come into play, they will be able to gain the support they need from Center 50 Plus. So the theme of this year's annual report that we are working on is just what Kanoy said. Center of it all. Seniors are the center of all we do. And why is that kind of important right now? Well, there's other people, other organizations that do things for seniors. And often they're kind of like, we do this for all these groups, and you can also be a senior, where what we do here is very intentional. It is by design for older adults. And that's what we're going to build on in this year's annual report. I would like to tell you that I have the annual report in its beautiful form, but I don't. I'm still working on the beautiful form. And we have the nuts and bolts into the report, knowing what our stats are, and we'll continue to add to them. So in the next, I would say 5-10 days, please look to your email. There will be a first draft of this report. And what I need from this commission, I don't expect you to know the stats. So that's why we provide it. But I do need your feedback and input on if we are capturing the meaning behind those stats and the impact of our community, because that's what we're reporting, our impact. And so when it comes to, if you would please take a moment to just look at it and say, I don't get what you're saying, or I think you're on the right track, or I think you should add something like this. This actually is the Advisory Commission's annual report. Yes, it's reporting on what Center 50 Plus does, what we accomplished, and this will go to City Council, but it is your report. And so your help in making sure we're saying what we need to say is really important. And as you're looking at it, I want you to look at that report and think back to exactly what you just shared with us. What brought me in? What do I do now? And how and why do I promote it to my friends and family, neighbors, and colleagues? Any questions about the annual report? Thank you, Kanoy, for kind of leading us in that conversation. It always makes me, it makes me think, yes, I work here, but there's more.
I just want a quick comment, Marilyn. First of all, I've got Julie Ludke's colleagues coming to my class across the hall here, Devery and Leah, So I've got to get them going, but I wanted to just say really quickly, I've written some kind of big reports that are both qualitative and quantitative that for stakeholders. And so I'm happy to help, because part of that capturing of the essence of what Center 50 Plus is a qualitative approach in conjunction with those stats. And I'm happy to look over the report in that way and make suggestions maybe for the next one, because it's too late to obviously implement that. But I'm happy to do that. We might even be able to get some students gathering some data for you.
Excellent. Any support and professional help and just insight is huge to us. I will be talking in my director's comments about our joint project. So I wanted you to know, since you are needing to leave.
I am needing to leave, and I just want to say Marilyn came and presented my class too, and she's awesome. We love you, Marilyn.
Oh, thank you.
All right, see you later.
It was a joy to be there. I love coming to Western and speaking. So thank you.
Okay. Well, Marilyn, speaking of your director's report, we're up to that.
Okay. Your director's report, I emailed it to you this today for you to have the content, because there's a lot. Center 50 Plus is feeling so wonderful. Tax aid is back, the parking lot is full, the building is bustling, we've got things going on in Saturday. For example, not only do we have the jam sessions happening, but both the lapidary and the wood shop and the gym are all three open on Saturdays now, and are all also having evening hours. So we're really feeling some excitement. But we do have a lot of new items that are happening, including tonight. Center 50 Plus is the location of a community-wide Spanish language resource fair. There'll be 30 tables here, from Northwest Natural Gas to the employment office. I mean, you name it, they're going to be here. And there'll be a variety of staffing and volunteers that speak Spanish that will be able to assist. So that's happening tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. We've been doing a retirement series called How to Retire and Live the Life You Want. This Wednesday, it's on elder law or estate planning. And we'll touch on some things like advanced directives and a few things like that. That's at 6 o'clock. Wednesday nights for the rest of the month, we have a different topic. And I hope that you will come. We have not only estate planning, but next week we have work after 50 and how to say yes properly to volunteerism. And we're excited to have 2 speakers there. And then the third week of this month, the Wednesday, we have Bonnie Miletto, and she is going to be here, and she's going to be talking about living the life you want at any age. Never too late to create the life you want, and how to find joy in our everyday. She will be there wrapping up our series, and if you've ever heard her, she's very energetic and pretty funny. So definitely that has been a great addition to the center. We also have the jam session that's happening on Saturday, the 18th. And then we have our Valentine's dinner next Tuesday. If you haven't bought a ticket, please do. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be a small, intimate dinner, about 40 people in the auditorium, having prime rib. And beautiful music, amazing music from a local classical guitarist and cellist that will be performing. And we're very excited about that. Cup of Joe, the 24th. This is our annual donor program breakfast. This is an opportunity for you to invite those friends that you have not brought into the center previously. It's 1 hour. They come in, they have breakfast, they hear what we've done and what we're going to do. The mayor speaks. It gives them just an opportunity to it's an introduction to Center 50 Plus. And it's low pressure giving breakfast. I've been to some where you feel like if you don't write a check on the way out the door, they might not let you out the door. This isn't that kind of thing. You get the donut and the breakfast no matter what. And it's going to be, there are flyers. It is on our website. Lots of information out there. I'd love for you to host a table. I know Linda's already hosting a table. A few of you are. If you want to host a table, it's no big deal. It's you plus 5 people, except for Linda has her and 6. Yeah, it's okay. If you have more friends like Linda does, you can invite more people. We have a talk coming in called COVIDology, Sharing Life Lessons from Behind the Mask, an anthology tour coming up in March, right here at the center at noon. Bring a brown bag and enjoy that. We also have the Capitol Woodcarver Show coming back in April, and we're bringing back Spring Chick Women's Conference. So lots of things going on.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
One thing that Margaret and I are working on together is we have a program called Generations Over Dinner. Generations Over Dinner is a intergenerational dinner program where we bring in high school, college, and all generations, adult generations, to have a conversation around a meal. And it's limited to 8 to 12 people. And there is a leader of the table that directs the conversation. And the first one is understanding each other and the stereotypes of other generations. And this is an introduction of just getting to know each other, and so that the dialogue begins, so that as generations are working together, we're going to be able to solve community concerns in a different way. And this is a national initiative. And Western Oregon students, will be hosting each of the dinners. It is in your listing of events. It will happen the last week of February and the first week in March. And we'll have 6 separate dinner parties. And if you would like to be at the table of one of those dinner parties, please let me know, because we would love to have you. Absolutely. It's going to be a fun, dynamic evening and a brunch for those that don't drive at night. And then we're doing them here and Western, or in Monmouth as well. So it's Monmouth Senior Center, Center 50 Plus, and the gerontology students at Western Oregon doing Generations Over Dinner. If you are interested not only in joining one of our groups, go online and Google Generations Over Dinner and watch the video. I think you'll be impressed and you'll be excited about participating. I'm gonna see if is Bonnie in the group? Bonnie Kadich.
No, she's not with us right now.
Okay, let's go ahead and go to Conoy, please.
Okay. So January in most gyms is pretty busy. And for us, it is busy, but actually our folks have the time to kind of research what gyms they want to be a part of, what classes these gyms have. So we see a big jump in our membership, typically actually about the 3rd week of January. When you look through my report, you'll kind of notice I broke it down. Fitness classes, we are averaging 8 to 12 people. Oops, shoot, I think I brought up the wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry. I brought up last year's. We are seeing such big numbers in our classes. We had in our Silver Sneakers program, Silver Sneakers yoga class had 24 people in it last week, and our Silver Sneakers Classic had 25. So these numbers, these are great. And we're so thankful for the space in the auditorium to be able to utilize all the room in there. We've moved all of our equipment down there so that folks aren't having to move it up and down the stairs. We're running out of chairs at times, which is just really exciting. First part of January, we had, our average numbers of about 15 or 16, but to see that growth was really exciting. Our regular yoga class is starting to pick up again as well. We just started with a new yoga instructor in November, and oftentimes it can take a little while to build a program. Prior to COVID, Robin, the instructor that we had before, was averaging around 26 people, sometimes 30. And so it was a little discouraging when we came back after COVID, and we haven't been able to break that like 8 or 9 person mark, but we are now. We're having 10 people or so come in and take our classes. So that's really exciting. Another big thing that has happened this month for us, I'm not sure if I've shared before, but our foot care contractor is now leaving. So she was on medical leave for a really long time, and we were hoping that she'd be able to come back. She's built such a wonderful foot care business here, but she's going to take a little bit more time to heal. And thankfully, we were able to find somebody who is just fantastic. She also does, she's a certified nail technician, and she does nail care in Albany and Mount Angel. So we were able to fit right in. She's actually going to give us 2 days of foot care, which is fantastic because we have a pretty large business here with foot care. So much so that just yesterday I had 4 people give me names and numbers, 4 people who had never come in before. So I'm excited to get that back in and going. I'm still looking for a massage therapist, but when the time is right, the right person will come in and be here for us. So we'll just keep putting our feelers out and paying attention there. We did try to offer our Promoting Healthy Aging roundtable discussion to start a class here at the center. We didn't have a big enough group that we thought would really support a roundtable discussion. So what I've done is just taken the names and phone numbers of folks that we have had, and we are building a list to be able to offer another one in the spring. One thing that was kind of interesting about that, when I did call people and let them know that we are offering this class at different places, South Salem Senior Center is doing a class right now, as well as Capital Manor. And both of those classes had already started, but out of the 3 people that had wanted to do this, 2 of them said South Salem Senior Center would be great. That's right by me. And one gal said, yeah, the reason I called you is because Capital Manor's class is already full. So it was really cool to be the hub of that. When visiting with David to kind of roll this program out, that was the vision, is that people could call here and we could connect them to the classes throughout the community. So to see just a little bit of that, unfortunately, the classes had already started, but just to see a little bit of that happening was kind of exciting. David has taught that class that we were trying to roll out prior to COVID quite a few times. And I'm not sure if that's why we are seeing that we don't have as many people who haven't taken it, because he was able to fill those classes pretty regularly here. But we're going to keep trying and build our interest list. Another class that will be coming up is our Healthy Living lecture. It's living with heart failure, and it's going to be here at the center next Thursday, the 16th at 10 a.m. Salem Health Check Center is going to come in, and one of their cardiac instructors is just going to kind of guide us through it. This is a new class for them to be offering. So they asked if this is something that our folks might be interested in listening to. And I do have a list of about 4 or 5 people that are listening. So it is what we've been trying to do, is have people RSVP or let us know how many people are going to be here ahead of time, so we can prepare space wise and everything for you being here. So, yeah.
One thing I want to talk about just briefly is in 2016, I had the opportunity to be the original alumni to be sent through a program called Rooted Leadership. This is through Mountain West philanthropic arm, and now it's called Rooted Leadership. It includes a 1-year program where we walk through leadership training. And then we get to nominate people for the next classes. And so I think we're on, is this 4-year cohort? Yeah.
Mhm.
So Kanoi was selected for the 4th-year cohort and has entered into leadership training through Rooted Leadership. And I just wanted to know, Kanoi, put you on the spot. Do you want to just share briefly what this program is and what your takeaways will be?
Sure, absolutely. So this program is designed to build leaders in the community. Every person that has been selected to be in this leadership cohort has something to do, either at a business, a nonprofit. They are trying to extend their reach and how they can help in the community. Through this leadership, we get to once a month, we go in for an entire day. It's pretty intense. It's pretty awesome. We get to listen to different leaders around the country that have been flown in to share their wisdom with us, to make us think about what we can do to affect change in our community. And not only that, we meet with mentors who have also gone through this program, and they kind of help us with weekly check-ins, or excuse me, monthly check-ins, and see how we're doing, and looking at the area that you do work in, and what are some struggles, what is the culture change, what can we do to support you. It's really neat. We also tackle a problem in this 1 year that we will get into small groups and take on a problem in Salem and try in some way to make it better. And my focus is going to be the beautification of Salem, or the livability. It was my first choice, so I was excited to get my first choice because there's been so much wonderful data collected, information we've been working on through the city with NAARP, with Aging in Place and livability here, that it'll be fun to see what changes we can make. I will say on this cohort, I am one of 26 other people, but the majority really focuses on youth. I am the only one whose primary focus is seniors, and it's amazing. It's so cool. I feel like just in the past couple of months, I have been able to at least enlighten people, make seniors part of the conversation when we are sitting in small groups, because they aren't looking at things from a senior point of view. Many are looking from a youth and the impact we can have on making resources available to youth, which is very important, absolutely. But my goal at the end of this is to have seniors be part of the discussion and in on any changes that are going to be made in the community moving forward. So, thanks, Marilyn.
Yeah, thank you, Kanoi. What's exciting about this program, one, is you are nominated and selected, and it is provided to you at no charge, which is really kudos and amazing that Mountain West is doing that for our community. And so congratulations to Kanoi, and then she gets to elect and nominate somebody for the future when she graduates. And I will tell you, once you're alumni, you don't finish the class. You actually have alumni responsibilities forever. And it can be intimidating, but awesome. So thank you, Kanoi. I'm trying to figure out how to.
Marilyn, I had a couple questions.
Yes.
Kanoi, you mentioned the heart, something discussion. I was just on the page looking to see if you had any programs, but I didn't see that one. So, in the program brochure from winter 2022-2023. So,
the healthy living failure, or living with heart failure wasn't it?
Yeah, the only thing I found it in is the Center 50 Plus newspaper.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So,
okay.
So we need to,
Yeah. Sometimes what can happen is we'll wait for them to give us a date or something, and I'll generally hold the place with at least like a save the date or something, but I must not have held that one and put a save the date.
So Do you want to email it to me or do you want to tell
Yeah.
all of us in case?
Well,
Absolutely.
the full announcement of it is in your director's comments that I sent today.
Oh,
Andy.
thank you.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
And
Thank
it
you.
should be
And-
on Facebook as well, but so if there's anything, but yeah, thanks for asking, Annie.
Okay, and the other thing, I know somebody whose daughter is a massage therapist, so I just sent a messenger thing to them and told them to contact you if they might be interested. Is that
That's awesome.
appropriate?
That's perfect. Thank you so much for
Okay.
doing that.
Sure. You
Excellent.
know, gotta work, gotta help everybody, right?
Right.
Very
Thank you,
good.
Annie.
Any other questions for Kanoi? It is, I know that she is working on her spring and summer programming. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to Heidi Miller. Heidi, I wanted to know if you could give us an update on the Friendly Driver program and what's happening in the villages.
Yeah, okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
There, okay, good. The volunteer driver program, we have surveyed several different volunteer driver programs across the nation and locally, and we're currently looking at creating a pilot that I'm hoping mid-March we'll be able to launch. That pilot will include 8 to 10 seniors that I've become acquainted with in the last year, helping them with special supports. I have a gentleman who's recently had a quadruple bypass and he doesn't have any friends or family in the area, and he really can't drive himself, so he would be a candidate for some assistance with driving to doctor's appointments and the like in the area. I have another gal who during COVID lost her husband of almost 52 years, and he was the driver, and she's trying to make her way in the world, so we'll be able to match her as well. And the rest of the groups are similar. There's even people in our Friendly Caller program who don't drive, who would like to come down and join us here at the center for lunch or for a class or our card making event. So there's lots of opportunities for us to test that driver program. We're just putting our documentation together so that we can present that to our risk management group. We were thrilled to see that they were excited at the city to move forward and to pilot that project. And then as far as our villages program, we've been very busy trying to create opportunities to connect with our various neighborhoods with our service days. This last month, I presented to the deacons of Westminster Presbyterian, and it looks like we shall be including them in the South Salem Village going forward. So we're excited about that. Our goal has always been, sorry, we have a little talking going on. Our goal has always been to have a church and a school be connected in our partnerships with each village. So that's great. And we continue to work with Capital Wesleyan Church as well as our partners over at First Church Nazarene as well. Our partnership with Catholic Community Services continues to grow. We are looking at Generations Camp for the upcoming year. You might remember that we had lots of fun programming with Generations Camp May right on through the holiday months. We took a little break in January, and we're gearing up again. Highland Station, which is an affordable living community that's just a stone's throw away from the center, and is owned by Catholic Community Services, one of the properties that we've engaged. And they are about ready to move into a construction. They're going to tear down some cottages and build a new dwelling space. And that's going to be a unique opportunity for us. So I think we're going to be looking at, in April, bringing Generations Camp for that community here to the center, which allows us to really promote the idea of grandpas and grandmas coming together and connecting with local youth. So youth can adopt a grandma or grandpa, or can bring their own, or a grandma and grandpa can have a safe place to bring their own littles. So that's going to be a really fun and neat kind of overlay of what we've been doing with the villages all along.
Heidi, you are the speaker at this next week's, 1 week from Wednesday, happy hour lecture. Could you briefly let us invite this group and explain what you'll be speaking to?
Yes. So I'm going to be speaking on how to say yes to volunteering. And, in the course of our lives, whether you're, and really at any point in our adult lives, we're always having, like when use myself right now, I have, or for many years, I had work, church, and dogs. Those were the big things going on in my life. And then there were all these other little things that might have come into play. And I used to often hear from friends and family at that point in life that, oh, you need to learn how to say no. And then I reflected on that, and I thought, I am busy, but it really is about learning how to say yes. Yes, where your passion is. Yes, where your interests lie, where your what sparks your curiosity and your desire to connect in community, and your desire to continue to grow and to learn. And really, now that I've worked with volunteers for some 20 plus years, I really can say that is the challenge of volunteerism too. You often hear volunteers who will tell you that they're busier now than they were when they retired, but they're busy doing good things, and they're busy learning new things, and they're busy developing new relationships. And that's why you say yes to volunteerism. So we'll be talking about that and building some strategies as well, or suggesting strategies rather, to help people who maybe haven't jumped into the volunteer pool learn how to dive in.
So this will be a nice complement to the other speaker. We have a representative from AARP that will be here talking about work after age 50 and what that looks like and the dynamic of that. And so it's kind of like we're hitting both worlds, those that are phasing out of their paid work environment into a volunteerism, or individuals that are looking for passion and purpose in their work as well. And so it'll be a great night. We're excited.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh,
and Marilyn, I had one more thing. On upcoming with our villages, we have our online forum scheduled for Monday, February 13th. It's just an hour-long conversation. And in this case, we're going to be discussing the award-winning book, Big Friendship. And I wanted to really bring it to your attention because certainly I want every one of you to be excited to join in a peer-to-peer sharing discussion kind of format. We've really opened that up for anyone in the community who cares about healthy aging and strengthening their social networks to come and join us. But the earlier conversation that we had about our annual report and making sure that we're conveying, the relational aspect of the center being at the center of it all. This book really has an opportunity to delve into what makes friendships tick. The importance, for example, as Kanoy led us through the, kind of like, how did you first get connected? Those are origin stories. And in friendships, as well as relationships with the center here, origin stories are important. And they are the things that, in the retelling, connect you to others who have a relationship here at the center, and they are the ways that we strengthen ties that bind. So if you're interested in exploring friendship and that friendship model as a way of kind of digging into your homework, thinking about that annual report, I just wanted to plug it. So,
Thank you,
So
Heidi.
when is it again?
and that's
Heidi?
going to be February 13th. That's Monday, next Monday. And it's 6 p.m. via Zoom. And you can just call or email me to get included with the Zoom link.
Okay, do you have to have read the book before it happens?
Not at all. Not at
Well,
all.
that's good because that's short otherwise. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
email you. Thank
All
you,
right.
Heidi.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Wendy, or Heidi, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Is the Friendly Driver program going to be available on Saturdays?
On the front end, we're going to stick to a Monday through Friday formula as we're piloting it, but possibly down the road.
Any other questions of Heidi?
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
well,
you all.
I'm gonna have you mute. Did you? Okay, good. Quickly, because I do have other things I need to share. So, and I'm hoping that we'll have enough time. You are being invited to the cohort, the sophomore cohorts meeting this upcoming week. It is on February 21st at 11:30. You are being invited to attend to Dr. Mark Henkels will be here speaking on state and local government and ways that we can connect and make a difference. You are invited and will be provided lunch. So you just need to reach out to Bonnie Kadich and let her know that you would like to participate. She'll send you the lunch link to Little Lois. And we're very excited to have Dr. Henkels back in. He does a great talk, kind of that high level overview of state and local government and how we can make a difference. We're opening it up to the advisory commission to join that cohort because we believe it's such a great topic that we would all benefit from. So many classes going on. Please check out our Facebook page as well as our website for more details of upcoming classes. I've included a few in your report and also the recap of some of the successes from the previous month. We are partnering with Salem Library to be offering some of our tech classes as well as some of our tech tutoring. And so we're excited to expand on that partnership and their expertise, but they will be coming to this building and assisting us with that. Another that I wanted to mention is you can see the stats for our respite program. We are pushing our, we have 25 participants in the programs right now, which is we're licensed for 15 per day. And so that number kind of shows you that we're pushing our attendance at about 9 to 10 on some days. 10 to 12 on others, and that's a nice flow. But what's really cool is we have partnered with AllsNet, and we provide the hosting of a memory cafe. Once a month, caregivers come with their loved one and have a social gathering. It includes games and food and time together, caregivers with their loved one, with others seeking peer support. And those groups, what has happened is we're running about 30 people per per session, which is perfect. But the relationships they're establishing are going way beyond that single gathering. They're going out to dinner together on the side. They're going to concerts. They're really creating a social network of people that are caregivers and have individuals with dementia. And the point of the program is it is hard to maintain social connections as your loved one or mate or partner gets dementia. You know, people withdraw, they don't know how to respond to you, all sorts of things. This is creating a space where it is safe. It is safe to be with this social group and forget something or not remember something or not fully engage in the conversation or do something that is may not be within the norm of another social gathering. It is growing and it is providing an outlet for our caregivers, and we are so excited to partner with AllsNet to make that happen. And we know it'll be continuing. And a matter of fact, it's probably going to need an additional day because 30, you know, once you get past a certain number, it's hard to establish relationships. It just becomes more like hurting the group. This allows for dialogue and relationships. I want to talk about, do you have any questions about kind of on the program level? Attendance is up, classes are moving forward. We're starting to see more volunteers come in. Now we're just struggling with the maintenance, management, training of our volunteers. You know, we're so busy in the function of putting on program, it can be hard to pause and take care of the operational needs like training and what do we call those? The housekeeping duties of the center, because we're so in the moment of program and trying to find and strike that balance. One of the things that Annie asked was about finding something on our website and not seeing it there. I will just say right up front, we are continuing to work on our website. We're continuing to try to commit resources, time, staff resources, get proper training so that we can maintain this new website. And we are kind of balancing two very different worlds. Those that want everything in print copy and paper, which is time consuming and can be expensive, requires a lot of staff time to maintain, but we still have a core group of people that is what they need. So we try to prioritize time to it. Then we have a group of people that want 100% of all things we do to be accessible through the website. And so we are trying to support that group as well. We're trying to merge through this transition time to support both sides of it. And behind the scenes, because you are our advisory commission, behind the scenes, I share with you that it's a balancing act and we're trying our very best to maintain and find staff supports to maintain and do what we need to do in both those things. But we also have to promote in other ways. You know, the highlights are, you know, we're on the radio every Friday. That is one way that people can connect to us that do not get the newspaper and won't do the internet. We are in the Kaiser Times. We do that because there are people that read the paper and we can still afford to participate in the Kaiser Times. So we try that. We are a part of the Northwest 50 Plus magazine. And as a matter of fact, we are a key component of their Willamette Valley, Marion Polk and Yamhill County publication. And about 7,500 copies of our publication, it looks like this, goes to throughout our community. This is something that people have been collecting and using and are familiar with. And it's not just here, it's grocery stores, doctors' offices, care communities, you name it. They tell me about 200 different locations put this out, and we are a part of it. This has been a tool that has worked for us because we are a non-membership organization. So we don't just have a membership that we could send a newsletter to, because we are an open community center, no membership, and we have a patronage of 9,800. And, you know, a mailing to 9,800 would be extremely expensive. So, and the preparation of a publication like this to do in-house would be extremely time consuming. So we have partnered with a local magazine to be a part of something, shifting the work to them, providing them the content so that we can share things coming up in the month. And the distribution is managed by them as well. And so it is a tool that we have been working with because mailing is so expensive and would be cost prohibitive for us. So the core pieces that we are working on is website, making sure we're a part of the community calendar, that our program is current, and that we have stationary pages that share what we do here. That is a priority. The second priority is that we continue to maintain some of our critical paper options, and that we continue to do our outreach through a variety of avenues. Like when John Hughes has me on his Aging in the Willamette Valley, that we're speaking at a variety of community gatherings, that we stay on the radio, that we send out press releases to all of our community partners so that they can include things about us in their newsletters. So we have this kind of full plan, and we work it over and over again. But there is always room for growth. And that's what I'm talking to the commission about, is we have a goal to be an age-friendly community. We're working it. You know, being an age-friendly community is forever. You actually never become 100% age-friendly. It's a process of improving every single day. And in our plan, we have an action plan from our age-friendly work. The action plan looked like this. I'm not sure why my thing won't let me go up and down, but here it is. This is the action plan. It identifies the different livability domains of an age-friendly community. And a reminder, we had kind of some core livability domains that were ultimately the most important in the assessment process. This is what came out of it. The number one goal is that people wanted to live and remain in their neighborhoods and community for their lifetime. That was the number one. Followed by the barriers to doing that being transportation, accessible and affordable housing. Those were kind of the top three focuses. And we have some goals, but we cannot do every domain all at the same time. And so we've been selecting items that we can address quickly and are natural to where we are. For example, during COVID, isolation and loneliness, it became clear we needed to shift our focus to that. And that's where the Wellness on Wheels van came from, and the mobile senior center, and the improvements in our technology. Well, we know that transportation is still there. It's still an issue. And that is a really important one that we want to work on. the projects that we have identified through that assessment was a need for a mobility fair and partnering with local groups to educate people on what can I do if I don't have a personal car or I'm no longer able to drive? What are my options? Is it walking? Is it biking? Is it our friendly driver program? Is it, what is it? So creating a mobility fair and then filling the gap, which is a friendly driver program where volunteers through friendships are able to give each other rides. So transportation is the next kind of thing we're working on. And we are meeting with Chariots to discuss how we move that forward. But for the commission, and I'm calling on you to be a part of that transportation discussion and these two projects. But another piece of this that didn't actually make our top 3 assessment needs as in the priorities, but keeps coming up is age-friendly communications, age-friendly outreach in terms of marketing, age-friendly technology. And so I am asking for those that have a heart for this, if you look at my website and you have feedback, or you're reading the Boomer News, or you are seeing things that you think are really age-friendly, I would like I need help. I need to form a communication team. The communication team is really to assess how is Center 50 Plus as an age-friendly communicator, because we're a leader. We're looked to as a leader. So how are we doing? How can we improve ours so that stage 2, we can guide and assist other community partners in being age-friendly communicators? We all know that we get stuff all the time, or we go to search for something and it's difficult. It's a challenge. And so we have some input, but I think we're going to address it from our place first, so that we have something to share with others. So if you love technology, or you love communication, or you're like Annie, goes and looks for something and then gives us feedback on how she was able to find it, this side committee work would be a huge help to me. The committee will meet, it will not be labor intensive. We're talking every other month and having conversations in person. So if you are open to in-person committee work and would be willing to come in and have these dialogues, please email me and we'll get you on that list. The same is true for those that have interest in the lifelong learning. I know David and a few others, I think actually only 3 people signed up to be a part of some of these other domains like lifelong learning. But I'm going to send out the work plan again for the age-friendly action plan, and I'm going to ask you to review it and send me your hot item, what you would be most interested in discussing with a group, and return that to me. So the email will come. It will have a copy of the assessment, not the assessment, but the action plan again. And then I would like some emails back on commitments to helping with some of those items. The communication one does not have any detailing of goals, except for to do better. That's the goal. How we get there is still in formulation. And I would love for you to join me on that. So there was a lot of information today, great updates from our partners, and I want to thank you for that. As commissioners, we only get out what we put in. And this is a very challenging interaction over the internet. And you all do an amazing job trying to participate and to engage. And I want to thank you for sticking with us as we do these awkward meetings. Online can be awkward, and you all do an excellent job. We are moving in the direction of new equipment that may allow us to petition for hybrid meetings. But at this time, the city of Salem is not allowing us to meet. The guidelines do not allow for these hybrid meetings. The city council is working through doing that. And I think they're the leader, and I'm hoping that will drive the direction of us in the future. But right now, we're still awaiting the proper equipment to do hybrid in a meaningful way. I'm just going to throw it out to you. How many of you have been in meetings where the people in the room and the people at home had a really excellent dialogue? If you have examples, I would love it, because I can interview them and find out how they did it. But the majority of the feedback I have been given, it's like two separate meetings going on with a person on the microphone. So everybody can see me, but it's challenging to see one another and have conversations. So, I ask you to just continue to support Center 50 Plus, be patient with us as we do that back work to be better. And you're all in the know. You know that senior centers are in this transition, and we're working it every single week, every single year to make that move to the new world. But moving to the new world has to mean we don't leave what's behind. We don't leave anyone behind. And that can be the challenge. And so we work it, and you're a part of that. You're a part of that team to help us navigate that world, these two worlds. So thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sticking with us. I know that these meetings can be a challenge, but I appreciate your efforts.
Well,
Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Okay.
I just wanted to say my comment was not a criticism at all.
Absolutely.
And it pushed me to say, why am I not getting these things? I went to Facebook and went, well, because I'm not following yet. So I followed everything, including the magazine. So that's very helpful.
And I did not take it as a criticism. I
Okay, good.
appreciate so much, because we're working in it all the time.
Right.
And so
True.
we might start a process of putting something in the paper, and
Right.
it might fall off. That
Right.
person might not work here anymore, or the person that used to do it isn't, it's so much bigger than us. And if people
Right.
don't give us that input and feedback, I can't fix it.
Right.
And we are going to miss things. We are. And so that's why I rely on my advisory commission to be the advocates, and my board of directors of Friends to be aware and advocate, because our intentions for all is just to do our best. That's our goal.
Right.
And
Thank
so,
you
no,
so much,
I love
Marilyn,
it. Mhm.
for all the work you do and for your reports. We're running over. We have one last item on the agenda, and that's the Friends fundraising. Unless Linda or Bonnie have anything on that, I'd like to put that off for the next meeting. Is there anything else? I know everybody has got busy days, and you count on us finishing as close to the specified time as possible. And I thank you for staying with us till the end here. Okay, in that case, I'd like to entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
I move we adjourn.
Thank you. Linda moved, and a second by, who
I'll
seconded?
second.
Second by John. Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand. And any opposition or abstentions? The next meeting will be Tuesday, March 7th. Thank you again for your participation. We all appreciate it.
I
And-
will stay on for the next 5 minutes for anyone that wants to ask questions or has anything to discuss.
Okay. All right. The meeting is adjourned.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye all.
Bye. Have a great day. Thanks.
Ron,
Yes,
we have our 11:30 meeting, right? Coming up with the membership meeting. Am I right? Sorry.
uh,
I just wanted to make sure because I'm headed for 50 plus. There's supposed to have a meeting.
oh boy. Yeah, and I'm gonna have a problem with that.
Well, we can, it'll be fine. So when you can make it, that'd be great.
Yeah, I've got a transportation problem. Let me see what I can do.
Okay, I'll be headed that way. So if you're there, we'll carry on. Thank
Okay.
you. Okay, thank you.